Fearsome and uncertain about what the future holds, people in Ukraine need reliable information now more than ever. As war rages on, many aren't able to tune into the regular cable news or connect to internet. Earlier this month, Russian troops bombed Ukraine's main television tower in Kyiv, briefly cutting off broadcasting. And accurate news and information is hard to come by in Russia amid a media crackdown there. Many independent and Western media outlets were forced to shut down their bureaus. This is TV Rain, a top independent TV station in Russia, the day it ceased operations nearly a month ago.
I
very much hope that we'll be back on air. How, where, on what platforms, and what it will look like, we don't know yet.
To get through to both Russians and Ukrainians with reliable information, most media outlets are using digital circumvention tools to break through. In Russia particularly, people are using virtual private networks, or VPN, to reach Western news outlets. But some media outlets are also going old school to help disseminate news and even hope via shortwave radio. The BBC decided to revive its shortwave platform on March 12, saying millions of people in Russia are turning to them to learn more about what's really happening in Ukraine as an alternative to state-sponsored programming. And in Italy, Vatican Radio has increased shortwave broadcasts to Ukraine and Russia, starting 2 daily broadcasts in the 2 languages last week. Plus, its morning programs to Kyiv and Moscow have been extended 20 minutes longer. Head of Vatican Radio, Massimiliano Menichetti, says the decision was taken to better respond to its mission, bringing hope.
Even if there is a war, much pain, suffering, we pray for peace. Pope Francis said, with war, everything is lost, everything. There is no victory in a war, everything is defeated. Vatican Radio pray for peace and try to build bridges.
This is WRMI, Okeechobee, Florida.
This transmitter site in the middle of Florida is also now broadcasting news in Ukraine and Russia.
And the more information that we can provide, the better it is for all involved, Russian and Ukrainian both. And that's what we're trying to do.
Kate Neiswinder and a group of supporters launched the fundraiser called Shortwaves for Freedom. Its goal, raising funds for airtime to broadcast news as it happens in Ukraine and Russia. Radio Miami International, or WRMI, transmits that news via shortwave frequencies to Europe. Right now, Shortwaves for Freedom is broadcasting the Voice of America's daily program, Flashpoint Ukraine, in Ukrainian, Russian, and English, and they have enough funding to broadcast for 90 days.
Historically, shortwave's been used to get information past sensors, past blocks of normal transmissions, right straight into the area that's needed most. In this situation, we knew that Putin was cutting off the internet, was cutting off normal broadcasts, was criminalizing journalism to a great extent, as I'm sure you know.
Shortwave is a radio frequency much like AM or FM. The radio electromagnetic waves are projected in certain directions, sometimes long distances by antennas, and then bounce off a layer off the atmosphere called the ionosphere. By tuning receivers, listeners can pick up the shortwave signals. Jeff White, the general manager of WRMI, says shortwave radio is always a place to turn to during a crisis.
Shortwave has often been called crisis radio, and it's something that people turn to whenever there is a crisis. The day after we started the Ukrainian program, we get a message on our from a listener on our Facebook page. It just said, "Thanks from Kharkiv, Ukraine." A few days ago, we got another one. Thank you very much from Sumy in Ukraine. So, we get feedback.
Amid the ongoing war, media organizations and social media platforms are continuing to push information out to those in need, both in Ukraine and Russia, whether it's using digital backdoors in the age of technology or even relying on old school tech like shortwave radio. Rosal Regis, EWTN, News in Depth.